I have never heard anyone say, you know what, after making the move to Savannah, Georgia from another state, I look back and I can say it was exactly what I thought it was gonna be, financially speaking and logistically speaking. So after watching this, you're gonna realize either of these two things. Either you know exactly what you're doing and you're good to go, or you have a lot of planning to do. Oh, and by the way, out of all of these mistakes, number 6, I think is the most common one that for some reason a lot of people get wrong, and I bet you'll get it wrong too. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Luis Bruno. I am a realtor down here in Savannah, Georgia, and all I do every day is help people like you relocate from another state to the state of Georgia. So don't sell your house over there yet. Don't buy flight tickets, none of that until you can actually go through this list and figure it out. Okay, I think I have the right expectations before going there, all right? So let me tell you the first one. This is something I hear a few times a month. They say, Bruno, we cannot wait to move. I've seen this house and this other house, and look, the monthly payment is $2,800. That's exactly what I'm looking for, okay? Let me tell you the bad news. All of those online estimates you're looking at on Zillow are completely wrong. They have no idea about what type of loan you're using. They have no idea what is the interest rate that they're gonna give you. They have no idea about the property taxes. They have no idea about home insurance at all, okay? So taxes, insurance, type of loan, interest rate, they're just assuming. So what I'm trying to say is this: 90% of the time, all of those online estimates that you're looking at, they're giving you a very best case scenario, okay? Which is probably not gonna happen, okay? So you're gonna get very disappointed when you realize that, oh my God, I already sold my house. I'm already under contract here in New York, or here in Texas, here in California, here in Florida. And I thought I was gonna get this type of home for this monthly payment, but I'm way off. I'm like, yeah, you're like $700 off, just so you know. All right, so that's one mistake. Now, mistake number 2, assuming that the closing costs are part of the down payment. Guys, it is not the same thing at all. Let me break it down the simplest way that I can. Down payment goes towards the house. Okay, you have a house here. Just imagine a house. It goes towards the house. Closing costs is money that you pay to other people, including the government. Okay, check this out. Property taxes, that goes to the government, aka other people. Home insurance, it goes to a home insurance company, aka other people. You have the closing attorney fees, which is a person. Okay, so closing costs is money that you give to people. Down payment is the money that goes towards the house. Okay, so do not get confused. You're moving from another state to Georgia thinking that you're good to go because you have all of this money saved, and you come to this market, you start making offers, no one accepts your offer. Why? Because you don't have money towards, you're always asking for money towards closing costs. You're asking for $15,000 towards closing costs, okay? So if you're saving and you're saying, I'm good to go because I have $15,000, well, maybe you're only halfway there. Okay, maybe you're only halfway there. Who knows? Mistake number 3 is this: assuming that you need a 20% down payment to make the move, when in reality, you don't need 20% down payment at all. Okay, the majority of my clients either use FHA loan, okay, 3.5% down payment. They use conventional loan with only 3% down payment. Okay, you can do 5% if you want to, you can do 10. You don't necessarily have to have 20% down payment. And then, because I know someone's gonna leave in the comments, people ask about private mortgage insurance. Yeah, but I was told that it's not worth it if it's less than 20% because I'm gonna have to pay PMI, private mortgage insurance, and that's a lot of money over 30 years. Well, yeah, if you're planning on staying in the same house over 30 years. So my question to you is, are you planning on staying in this house here in Savannah for 30 years? Are you buying your forever home? Because if you're buying your forever home, yes, of course, if you put 20% or more, it's probably better, but 80% of the people don't even, that's not the case, you know? Mistake number 4, which only applies to veterans that are making the move, is this. They say, Bruno, I mean, I'm a veteran, so it's nothing out of pocket. I'm like, what do you mean nothing out of pocket? Yeah, because I'm a veteran. I don't have to pay anything. Well, I think you're confused. You don't have to pay the down payment. Everything else, you have to either negotiate it if you want to, or you're gonna have to pay for it, right? I've had veterans over and over and over and over again, extremely confused, trying to even kind of like argue and everything with me about, well, no, because my lender told me it was nothing out of pocket. Guys, that only applies, like I said, for down payment. You still have to pay for the home inspection. You have to pay for appraisal, you have to pay some of the money towards closing costs, you have home insurance, you got property taxes, like I said. So the VA has nothing to do with none of that. Okay? The VA has nothing to do with everything that I just mentioned. What they told you was, you don't have to give a down payment. That's what they told you. It's not the same as nothing out of pocket. Now, mistake number 5 is this: thinking that just because you have excellent credit and 2 years of taxes, that you're good to go. Well, let me tell you the bad news. If you're moving to Georgia and you don't have a job offer letter yet, or you are self-employed and you telling me, well, I'm gonna start my own business in Georgia. I've been doing this for 10 years in Texas, for example, but now I'm gonna be doing it in Georgia. Well, guess what? You're a brand new business in Georgia. You don't have any way to prove that your business is gonna make money in Georgia. And the taxes that you file in Texas has nothing to do with what you're doing in Georgia. Okay, so if you don't have a job offer letter, if you don't have a good debt to income ratio, which is how much money do you make a month, okay, and how much of that money goes towards bills and loans, okay, or debt. Okay, they're gonna look at that ratio and say, okay, yes, you make good money, you have great credit, you have 2 years of taxes, but you're barely surviving. I'm not gonna give you a mortgage to make it worse for you, because now that increases the chances of you not paying me back, right? That's what the lender is gonna tell you. So yeah, you're planning all of this trip, flight tickets, coming to Georgia, all excited, thinking that you're good to go, when in reality, you're not. Now, mistake number 6, and like I told you before, this is the one that for some reason 90% of the people get wrong, and I bet you will get it wrong too. They tell me, Bruno, I'm already pre-approved. I already got a pre-approval letter. I don't have to get another pre-approval letter from anybody else, because if I do, my credit score will tank, okay? It's gonna go low, and I don't want that at all. Wrong, okay? Listen, if you got your pre-approval letter recently, maybe 30 days ago, 25 days, 2 weeks ago, you can still qualify and get pre-approved with another lender, right? Specifically if you're looking for new construction homes, because a lot of you guys love new construction, but every builder have their own preferred lenders. Okay, so you freak out, you're like, oh my God, I thought I was already pre-approved, and now I'm shopping around and they're forcing me to use another lender. If you just got the pre-approval letter, you don't have to worry about it. It only counts as one credit inquiry because you are applying within a certain range, all right, within a certain amount of days. Ideally, within 30 days, okay, ideally. Now, even if your credit score gets lower, it only gets lower by maybe 3 points, 5 points, etc. Okay, it's not like you're gonna have a 750 credit score and then all of a sudden you apply with another lender and now boom, your credit score is 620. It's not gonna happen. Now that leads me to mistake number 7, because this often happens on people who are looking for new construction homes, okay? So if you're looking for a new construction home, the number one mistake that I get in that area is this. People say, Bruno, new construction home, I wanna be able to choose everything. And here's the 7 houses that I'm looking at. And I have to call them back and say, well, look, all of those 7 houses that you want based on your timeline, because you told me you want to move in 30 days, right? None of those, you're able to choose anything. And when I say anything, I mean nothing. Meaning no color for the cabinets, flooring, any upgrades, nothing. You're not gonna choose nothing, okay? You just buy the home as it is, take it or leave it. They're not gonna do anything. Maybe you're gonna ask me, well, yeah, can you negotiate something? No, they don't do anything. I'm telling you, the majority of the builders here, if the home is 60 days out, there is nothing they're going to do for you whatsoever. Maybe if you're lucky, they can give you a fridge, okay? Put some blinds, but that don't even count as a custom request, because that's, you're just adding an external thing and put it in there, okay? But when it comes to choosing colors, changing the flooring, putting, I don't like carpet, can you put flooring? Nope, nothing like that, okay? So just wanted to set up the expectations. So if you want a new construction home and you are from out of the state, you better get that home. If you want to do customizations, you have to get it at least 7 months in advance. Now, mistake number 8, people thinking that if you ask for closing costs, right, on an offer, let's assume you're making an offer on a house and you ask for $10,000 closing costs, right? Now you go to closing and you still have to come up with $5,000, $7,000. Okay? Then you get mad about it. You get mad with your agent, with the seller, with the closing attorney, because you thought, I'm like, well, I made my offer and I asked you to pay the closing costs. People get confused. No, you asked me to pay $10,000. You didn't ask me to pay all of your closing costs, okay? And this applies to the builders too. If a builder tell you, hey, we're giving $10,000 towards closing costs, that doesn't mean that the $10,000 is the total amount of the closing costs. It only means that they're gonna give you that much. Okay, so the closing cost could be $20,000. The closing cost could be $17,000. Okay, so you're planning all of this move, right? You're buying furniture, you just bought a new fridge, you got curtains, you got a bunch of stuff for your house. You blow up $10,000 in stuff that you had in your bank. But then closing comes and you say, well, I thought they were gonna pay for closing costs. Well, yeah, they are. You're just short on money because you didn't plan accordingly. That's what I'm saying, guys. I'm trying to save you some money and time and headaches and awkward conversations, okay? Imagine having to turn to your wife or your husband and say, honey, I just blew up $9,000 in furniture. Closing is next week. I thought they were gonna pay for closing costs, but now we're $9,000 short. I don't even have any money after this, right? So I'm trying to avoid some divorces in here, all right? So let's go to the next mistake. Mistake number 9 is this. Well, since I'm looking at new construction homes, Bruno, I'm just gonna go out there anyways, because at this point, I don't need a realtor, obviously, because they have their own agents. Well, let me tell you this, guys. I mean, you don't need to, but the question is, should you have an agent? Yes or no? Well, let me tell you this. The job of a sales agent from a builder is to look towards the best interest of whatever that contract is for the builder, okay? They're not going to defend you whatsoever. They're not gonna tell you, hey, here are the questions that you should be asking, by the way, before you sign all of these 20 pages. They're just gonna tell you the most basic things. Here it is. Here's what you need to know, sign it, and the house is yours, right? So if you don't even know what questions to ask, and yes, you can go on Google and ask a few questions, but do you rather just talk to Google, or would you rather be able to blame someone else if something goes wrong? Because if it was me, I'd rather be able to blame someone else and say, hey, Bruno, you told me that this was like this, and now I'm $3,000 short. Therefore, you pay for the $3,000. Because that was your problem. You are the one that are mistaken, right? Do you prefer to do that, or would you prefer to complain to Google, right? I'd rather have an agent to complain to than go to Google and say, well, Google, I forgot to ask you this question. I think you answer it wrong, right? So that's what I mean. Mistake number 10 is this. Some people say, Bruno, I don't have any kids, so I don't care about school districts whatsoever. And yes, I get the point, but it could be a mistake, because if you're planning on reselling that house later, let's say you're buying a house under $400,000. You have plenty of options. You really don't care. You're moving in the next 4 or 5 years. Who cares, okay? But then you're planning on renting that house. Well, do you think it's faster to rent a house in a good school district, or do you think it's better and faster to sell it in a good school district, right? So even though you don't have kids, which I get the point, but if you can afford it, I think the best route to take is to focus on, hey, where are the best school districts? In case worst case scenario, if I need to move out, it's quicker to sell, it's easier to rent, easier to find people that like it, you know? I'm telling you, mistake to avoid. Now, mistake number 11 in this. In the state of Georgia, we use real estate attorneys. People get super confused about this. They say, well, so that means I have to hire you and I have to hire an attorney. Like, who do I need to speak with? Like, how does the process work? Okay, you don't have to freak out about that, okay? Don't think that, oh my God, I'm gonna have to spend so much money now on a lawyer. You don't have to. The closing attorney is right there described in the first page of the offer, okay? And the transaction is handled by one closing attorney, okay? It's not like the seller has an attorney, you have your own attorney, now you have the closing costs of the seller, closing costs of whatever your attorney is. It's not like that, okay? So don't freak out about that. It's very simple. All you do, show up to the closing office, sign the documents, call it a day, all right? Now, can you have your own attorney if you wanted to? Yes, you can have your own attorney. Now, is it worth it? Probably not. Now, mistake number 12 and the last one is this. Assuming that you're good to go, right? That you're pre-approved because you had a few conversations with a lender and they told you so. If you don't have a pre-approval letter, if you never sent any documents, if you never filled out an application, if they never checked your credit, your employment, all of the other aspects, like do you have child support? Do you have student loans? Do you have credit card debt? Okay? If you haven't done nothing like that, you cannot tell me that you're good to go because you had a conversation with the lender, okay? Remember, a lot of people make the move. A lot of people, after they sell the house, in whatever state, they come here, they start making offers. They go under contract. And 1 week before closing, there is 2 documents that they don't have because, well, my lender never asked me about it. Oh, I thought I didn't need that. Now, all of a sudden, you lose your earnest money and you don't close. So now you lost maybe $7,000. $5,000 because you thought you were good to go, when in reality, you were not. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope this helps. This is my number right here on the screen. Okay, so just call me, text me, send me an email, a message, it doesn't matter. Okay, and I'll be able to help you. Talk to you soon.